from the onset, as you were growing up, did you want this to be your line of work or your career? I ask because when I was growing up, I thought, I was going to do modeling, and the older I got, I thought it was going to be air hostessing. And now when I look back, I think to myself, I would never be able to do this. It takes so much application and so much work.
I personally always had a feeling that I would be involved in modeling, but honestly never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I would be in a pageant, and especially representing our country on the biggest international platform. I never would have thought that this is where I would be.
Of course, in bigger volumes, we're going to get to that, and you representing us, and as well as you, Tendai. I do know that, especially when you were at the fore in the limelight, social media wasn't what it was today.
Correct.
So we're also going to touch on that. But I want to know, is this exactly what you wanted to do as a child, or was it something else?
Absolutely not. So growing up, I was, and I still am, like the proper academia. I was like always top in class, always, I wanted to be a lawyer. My family always thought I was going to be one of those, like big academic kind of girls. And I also played a lot of sport until I just met somebody who scouted me for modeling, I think when I was 19. And I just took it up because it was just whatever. But then this is like, I don't know how many years later, and that's the line, and I don't even do anything else. I stopped sport. I just did my undergrad. By now I should have done my master's and stuff like that, but I'm still just pursuing my modeling industry because it's a newfound passion, and I feel like this is what I was born to do, actually.
Let's talk about what it takes away from you. I think a lot of people, when they see a person in the limelight, when you become Miss Universe, and when you are Miss this and that, they think it's a one-day thing. You went modeling today, and then it happened. Talk to us about the things that you've lost, or the time that you've lost, or the things that you have not had time to do because of this career path.
That's a good question, because I remember when I was Miss Zimbabwe in 2014, that was my final year at the University of Zimbabwe, and I had to defer for the whole year. So I had to go back to school by myself the following year with a bunch of new people and new faces. So I actually lost the whole year of school because of my modeling industry. And I've also lost that freedom to just be, like, when you get to a place and you just want to be Tendai, but then you can't because people are watching you, and then you've created this name, so you're a role model to young girls, so you've got to live a certain life. So every time it's like you're on a camera, even though you're not on a camera. So it's taken away that freedom, that ability to just exist and be whoever you want to be. So it's not as easy, actually.
I can only imagine that. Now, Brooke, talk to us about a random day where you just want to be Brooke. The same Brooke was at your house with your parents, and the public won't let you, or the world won't let you be Brooke. How do you manage to just, I'm going to use stay calm. How do you just manage to put yourself together on a day like that?
I feel that it's grace by pressure, so you learn to have grace through pressure. I also feel that through my journey, I have completely been myself wherever I've been. I don't feel that I've had to, stop myself from being me, or from having the freedom that I did have before being Miss Universe Zim. So I would say that I didn't really lose anything, but I definitely have gained so much more than what I could.
Definitely. Of course, when we get back from, we started off with the negatives. We want to hear about the things that you've gained as a person, in your life, the connections and everything, but we will touch on that a lot later on. I must also ask, as you sit and think about modeling, a lot of people put it toward body, physique, looks are everything. Do you ever have frets when you sit down and you think, what if I gain weight? What if my cheeks don't look proper anymore? Does it happen to you guys? Maybe a lot more.
So I personally had an experience when I was modeling in Cape Town, that they sort of body shamed me in a way, saying that I had too big of hips or I had acne. And when I won Miss Sim, it was more about what's on the inside instead of what you look like. So even though I was going through hormones and I was getting pimples every now and then, and maybe my hips were a little bit too big, it wasn't based on that. I know. So that was my one experience, getting a little bit of negative.
And then when you get this, I'll take that from exactly what you're saying, that people are talking about acne as if there's anyone with a remote control that they can do anything about what they look like. Social media. How do you guys handle that? Because I can imagine if that small group of people in Cape Town could talk about your hips and acne. Social media these days, they give you no rest.
Yeah.
How are you guys handling that? Do you reply in their DMs? Do you find out where they live?
No.
How do you ignore that? How do you ignore that?
I think for both of us, for me and for Brooke, we always like text each other because we get like probably the same feedback because we work for the same brand. So we always tell each other we do not reply.
Konapo, Ipapo pa ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.